We got to talk about an article that just came out with Beach Talk Radio. They are a local organization here in Southwest Florida, primarily talking about the local barrier islands, including Fort Myers Beach. If you're not aware, here in Southwest Florida, we got decimated by a hurricane, Hurricane Ian. I did several videos about that. You guys can check those videos out as well. But one in particular, I talked about FEMA 50/50 and really its effects on rebuilding your home. If your home was severely damaged, you're up against kind of a rock and a hard place, to say the least. And FEMA is making things much, much worse. Anytime we're trying to rely on our local governments and or federal governments, there's probably always going to be some sort of issue. And this article makes me wonder if our federal government has our best interest in mind. If you guys have been following this channel for a bit, you probably know that I really have a dissatisfaction for government in general in many, many cases. But we're going to talk about this article because if you own a hurricane home on Fort Myers Beach, Sanibel, or not even just on the barrier islands, you might be in some trouble in terms of rebuilding your property. And real quick before we get into it, I will drop a link for the other video I did on FEMA 50/50. But basically, essentially, it says that if your property has been damaged or if you're going to improve your property, you cannot exceed 50% of its value of the actual structure, not the structure plus the land value. It's the value of the structure. So if the structure is worth $100,000 based on its value through your local tax authorities and or an independent appraisal, if it's worth $100,000, that's what it came up to, then any improvements that you do to the property or fixing it up or repairing it after flood or hurricane damage, it cannot exceed $50,000. So that's kind of the basis around it. I'll put a link for that other video so you guys can look more in detail on that. Now, FEMA is coming out in this article, and basically they're saying, let me just read it for you guys. So over here it says, FEMA drops bomb on local officials nearly 5 months after Hurricane Ian and 3 months after FEMA told local municipalities to use Lee County property appraiser Matt Caldwell's home valuations. FEMA now says Caldwell's calculations are invalid. It'll have a major impact on how homeowners rebuild, specifically FEMA's 50% rule. FEMA has all of a sudden and without clear explanation to Caldwell determined there's a wide disparity in how building value adjustments were developed. Caldwell was never notified the letter was coming or given a chance to explain how he calculated his numbers. When he finally spoke to a FEMA rep this week and explained how he calculated the numbers, the FEMA rep he spoke with had no idea what he was talking about. Caldwell tried to explain to FEMA that the way he calculated the numbers has always been the same they've calculated for years. The town notified residents this week because FEMA cannot determine if values stated on the tax roll value letter are acceptable. The town of Fort Myers Beach is required as of February 15, 2023 to use building cost value on the LIPA.org website. Now, it's good to see the local government, the local entity here in Lee County actually fighting for its citizens and basically saying, you know what, we're going to continue to proceed as we were despite FEMA and what they're saying because they really don't have their shit together. So we're going to proceed as needed. So I appreciate that from our local entity, our local government here, because for FEMA to come out and just drop a bomb like that, it's ridiculous. So what is FEMA really trying to accomplish here? So basically FEMA dishes out millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars every month, every year for catastrophic destruction across the United States, including flood. And again, you can check out some of those videos that we did. But basically, you know, at Fort Myers Beach, for example, we had a huge surge. We had a surge that came up throughout Lee County and parts of Collier County as well. And, you know, we have experienced it firsthand. The building that we were in, you know, we experienced about 4.5 feet in our building lobby. We lost our vehicles and everything else. So a lot of water came in. So what FEMA and the government, they don't want to continue dishing out money year after year after year after catastrophic flooding happens. So they want to make sure that all these houses are basically built to new code. So what does that mean? If you go past that 50%, then FEMA is going to require you guys to bring that property up to code. So that's going to be to new building code. And if you are on just a single level house on a monolithic slab, odds are, especially on the barrier islands, you did not have enough fill to go above the base flood elevation. So basically they're going to tell you to raise your home up or demo your house. And that's what's going to happen in a lot of these situations that I foresee. Because again, FEMA does not want to have to go ahead and start cutting checks for flood damaged houses that are below the base flood elevation. And I want to thank Beach Talk Radio for all they have done, especially throughout post Hurricane Ian. I mean, they've done a tremendous job at really helping out the local communities and really just keeping people informed and generating and bringing in a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of tools for the local community. So hands down, they've done an excellent job. And if you guys want to support them, I'll link this and you guys can get on their newsletter. And let me know your thoughts. Is FEMA looking out for us at the end of the day? Is our federal government looking out for us? I don't think that they have necessarily the best interest in mind for citizens. And it's unfortunate in many cases, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you work for FEMA, I would like to have you participate in this conversation as well, and any feedback would be appreciated. Thanks a lot for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next video. See ya. Don't forget to watch those other hurricane videos. I'll link them below for you guys. Thanks a lot.